There are 6 words to describe this defense. This secondary will carry our defense. That is what I can describe for Brad Holmes' NFL draft. It's been about almost 3 weeks since I have made a video. I don't even want to say I'm sorry because and I'm pretty sure I'm going for all Lions fans here who actually legitimately care about the team and legitimately want to win a Super Bowl. This draft hurt you in some type of way. Not saying that these players are going to be bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that our secondary, our whole entire defense is going to be run by our secondary this upcoming season. We added, and I'll make this video later about Ahmed Hassasini. We drafted Ahmed Hassasini in 196 overall in the 6th round. We took James Houston in the back end of the 6th round in 2022. He had a phenomenal rookie season. But guess what? Fluke season, he ended up being horrible. He's not even on an NFL roster right now. And just look back at 6th round picks, specifically in the defensive end, at the defensive end position. Tell me which defensive ends in the 6th round have actually become an asset to a football team and made a legitimate impact. Just so I also find this funny from Brad Holmes' draft that the Lions decided to take more offensive players than they did defensive players. We had 7 draft picks, ended up drafting 7 players in this draft. 4 on offense, 3 on defense. And guess what? 1 was at the defensive end position. That was it. So we took a defensive end, we took a safety, and we took a safety, and we took a defensive tackle. Am I forgetting somebody? It's been so long. Hold on. Yeah, that was it. We took those 3, and the offensive side of the ball, we took Dominic Lovett, Tate Ratledge, Isaac Teslaa, and Miles Frazier. So it's just, for Brad Holmes in his draft class, all I gotta say is this secondary, he's gonna have to carry this defense. I mean, I don't even really care about the defensive end position anymore after taking the 3-week break. I really don't care, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm gonna say this in probably every video, every draft video I make, up until it's done, which should probably be by the time you're seeing this within 3 or 4 days. That I'm not going to probably be prioritizing content this off season unless if it is something I really want to talk about, or the Lions made a significant move or something. If it is a minor move, like minor transactions or something like that, like we had this past week where we signed Roquan Williams and Malik Taylor, or Malik Turner, whatever it is, I think it's Malik Taylor for the Packers. I'm not going to make a video about those guys. Those guys are practice squad players at best. No shade to them. That's just the truth. So from now on, for us this off season, until I'm finally in the mood to make content consistently again, like I used to, where I was making a video, every week or a couple every week, I have to be in the mood again. I'm just not. So I'm gonna make these videos, get these out here. About the draft videos already way too late. I know these videos are gonna suck, but this video is now after this 3-minute and 30-second conversation. This video we're gonna be talking about Isaac Teslaa. The Lions traded up 32 spots to get Isaac Teslaa in one of the worst draft trades I've ever seen. In my opinion, it just doesn't make sense to me when receiver was not necessarily a big need. Hold on a minute. Alright, there we go. Lions traded up 32 spots to pick 70 for pick 1 and 2 with, I believe, the Jags. Yes, the Jaguars. The Lions received pick 70. Pick 182, a 6th-round pick, and a 2026 6th-round pick. The Jags received pick 102, 2026 3rd-round pick, and our 2026 3rd-round pick we got from Aaron Glenn. So we do not have a 3rd-round pick right now in 2026. We now have, I believe, 2 6th-round picks in 2026, maybe even 3. We are projected and will get a 2026 compensatory 7th-round pick for losing a Fatu Melifonwu. So we'll have 2 picks in the 6th and 7th round. But we will have no 3rd-round picks, and I don't know what's going on. My mouse just disconnected, so let me get my camera back up here manually. There we go. One of the worst draft trades I've ever seen. I'm going to be completely honest with you. My problem is 3rd-round picks can be made to use big trades in season for a player. You legitimately last year, probably with a 3rd-round pick, really could have gotten above average defensive end. Not saying Zadarius Smith isn't that, but potentially a long-term option defensive end and somebody who is going to make a huge contribute to the defensive line. I'm just trying to think somebody off of the top of my head potentially that would have been a huge acquisition that probably would have been able to cost a third-round pick. The fact that we only had traded a fifth and sixth to get Zadarius Smith, and we even got more capital in return for it. Let me think here. You with a third-round pick, you probably could have got a decent guy. I'm trying to think somebody that was on the market that probably could have been available. I don't know. You probably could have got a decent edge rusher, though. Rashawn Gary. I'm not saying he would have been traded. But there's a legitimate chance, I think, if Rashawn Gary was available, that a third-round pick would be able to get him. You'd be able to get him for. So, just that's where I am with the third-round picks. You can also move up high in the draft, even in the first round with third-round picks. We did it back in 2024 with Terry and Arnold, trading up, 5 spots from pick 29 to pick 24, and we only traded one third-round pick to move up 5 spots. And when we traded 32 spots and traded 2 third-round picks. It doesn't make sense to me, this draft trade. All value trades, all trade charts have this as the Lions losing it, and I agree. I like Isaac Teslaa a lot. I mean, I'm already yapping a lot this video, so let me go ahead and go over his stats and his draft profile, and then we'll wrap this video up. He's a big body receiver. He will definitely be our X receiver of the future. He's 6'4", 217. I believe he weighed in as 214 at the combine. 23 years old, turned 23 back in February. So he's old. He's on the older side, but he's not too old. Again, we drafted him on the third round, pick 70 from Arkansas. He only played 2 years at Arkansas. First year, 34 receptions, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns. And in 2024, the Arkansas had 28 receptions, 546 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, Isaac Teslaa, that's not great production at all. I mean, you could probably find a lot of most UDFA receivers with that production. But Isaac Teslaa had a fantastic combine. He ran a 4.42, I'm pretty sure, or a 4.43, one of those two. He had a fantastic combine with drills and everything, so he shot up people's draft boards. We already knew that heading into the draft. He shot up draft boards, but not to the early third round extent, because keep in mind, pick 70, I'm pretty sure was like a top 6 pick, a top 5 or top 6 pick in the third round, so he was a really early third round pick. So for me, Isaac Teslaa, I really like the player. I've watched a lot of film. Probably the most film of anybody I've watched so far at a player we drafted has been Isaac Teslaa. I really like the film. I think he has a lot of potential. I just think taking him in the third round, when you realistically probably 100% could have got him with pick 130 if you kept that in the Miles Frazier trade, in the Tate Ratledge trade. You probably could have been able to take him there. And maybe if you don't see him getting there, just trade up a couple spots in the 4th round to get him. I don't know, but this is just a stupid trade to me, and I was not worth an early third round pick in my opinion. For me to extremely like a player that at least adds on to it besides the tape aspect, production. I mean, and it's not saying production makes a player, because look at Antoine Power Island. I did not like his film at all. He looked slow, did not have a good get off the line of scrimmage. He just did not look like he had enough power to push a guy back, like a lot of people had him at. So, just Antoine Power Island to me was not a good player in this draft as a defensive end. I almost had a UDFA grade on him, I'm pretty sure. I think I had a back end 6th round grade on him. A lot of people on him was like a 4th round grade. So, I just did not like Antoine Power Island. I'm trying to think of another defensive in this draft I didn't like. That I thought was severely overrated. Or just another player that was severely overrated, even though they had insane production. Man, I don't know. Just trying to go off of the defensive end position, because this position I watched the most. I can't even think of anybody right now. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Production doesn't make a player by any means, but it always helps when they have production. But again, it's not just because if they don't have production, I don't like the player. It's just not the case. Antoine Power Island, a great example, and a lot of other guys, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the defensive end rankings and a lot of other ranking videos leading up to the draft. that they had insane production. I just didn't like their film. So that's just where I'm at for that. Isaac Teslaa, not insanely productive. Now let's look at his combine profile, and then we'll wrap the two up because it's already like 2 times longer than I wanted it to be. Isaac Teslaa had a 6.13 grade, which is a good backup with the potential to develop into a starter. He will develop into a starter. I don't know if he'll develop into a wide receiver 1 or even wide receiver 2, but he'll be a great wide receiver 3, and I consider that as a starter. 6'4", 214 is what he weighed in at the combine. I think I said 213. 31 and an eighth arms, 10-inch hands. His production score was very low, obviously 48th out of receivers, just one of the lowest with a 53. His athleticism score was first with a 96, and his total score was a 70, which was 28th. His 40 was a 4.43, not a 4.2. His 10-yard split 1.51, vertical 39.5, broad jump 10.9. 3-cone drill, 6.85 seconds, 20-yard shuffle, 4.05 seconds, and he had 17 best runs preps. Pretty solid. He was predicted by Lance Zierlein to go in the 4th or 5th round. I think I had a 5th round grade on him, maybe a late 4th. I had a late 4th or an early 5th round grade on Teslaa. I don't know why it keeps going back up to the top. God, man. Overview. Teslaa's a big slot wide receiver whose stock might be on the rise after his performance during the Senior Bowl week. He also had a fantastic Senior Bowl. I forgot to mention that. That's not just because that says it. I just forgot to mention that. There's some combine highlights down the bottom, by the way. It's 40. He can mismatch smaller cornerbacks with his frame and play strength and is a reliable pass catcher when contested. He builds up speed as vertical slot, but isn't sudden enough to simply uncover as a position slot against tight man. Teslaa's ball skills and ability to work down the field from the slot should carry backup value for teams in the market for help at receiver. His strength. Size creates big mismatch problems from the slot. Play strength to sink into zone and catch through contact. Tracks and attacks at the high point downfield. Sure-handed with the ability to snap stray passes. I don't know what that means. To sap stray. I think he mispronounced that. I'm just slow. Frame and play length to talk and stick as a run blocker. Weaknesses, production was fairly lackluster in 2 seasons in Arkansas. That's obviously well known. Crowded and slowed by early route redirection. Sluggish acceleration kick after slowing his feet. We saw that, at least for me when watching this film. Has a tendency to drift toward coverage on stop routes. I think that's supposed to be short routes. Doesn't play fast enough to beat tight man underneath. That is correct as well when I saw that from watching the film. Again, Teslaa, he's a solid player. I like this film a lot. I've watched the most film out of anybody out of this draft that the Lions got. Was Isaac Teslaa. So, again, I like the player. I just think the trade to move up was really stupid. I don't want to give a grade on this. I think the grade is a player. It's hard because I think I had a late 4th and early 5th round grade on the guy. That's what I'm pretty sure I had him as. I'm not 100% sure on that. I really didn't look at it. But again, I really like the player. I don't think that this was a smart trade at all. It doesn't make sense to me. So you include the trade in this. I'm gonna give this pick and trade up a combined a C minus. I'm gonna give it a D. I'm gonna give it a D. Just the fact that you can get phenomenal players at the deadline with 3rd round picks. And you can move up in the 1st and especially 2nd round with 3rd round picks. It's just kind of sucks that we don't have one now for next year. I mean, maybe we would do the same thing with Kelvin Shepard. He balls out, and then he gets hired a head coach somewhere, and you get 2 3rd-round picks once again, one next year. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why you would do that. But it is what it is. So again, I'm not really gonna give a fair grade on this, but if I had to give a grade, with the trade up, I'd give it a D. But that is Isaac Teslaa. I mean, we might do a breakdown at some point, like a month before the season or something like that, in a month and a half or so, somewhere around there. But for right now, I'm going to wrap this video up here. But yeah, one pride go Lions. Isaac Teslaa, welcome to Detroit. Even though it's been 3 weeks, you've already been here. And hope you ball out, man. Just for the better. By the way, he will not be wide receiver 3 this upcoming season like some Lions fans believe. There's just no way he beats out Tim Patrick his rookie year unless he just is unreal in the preseason or something. And even that, I don't think he'd be wide receiver 3. But yeah, one pride go Lions. Welcome to Detroit, Isaac Teslaa.